look at each one of these, 140, 141, 142, and 143, and tell the court what each one of those photographs is.
This one is me.
Give us the number.
140.
Yes.
That's me with my baby going to the post office.
Okay. That's 141.
Me going with my baby to the post office.
And that's 142.
Going home from the post office with my baby.
And finally, what is 143?
Going home with my baby from the post office.
Now, Ms. West, you are walking down Ellis Street, and what happens to you as you are walking down Ellis Street? Tell us.
I approached London Street.
The street that crosses Ellis Street?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I was 5 minutes from my home, and two boys were walking down the street.
Were they headed toward you?
Yes.
So you were, tell me if you were walking toward them and they were walking toward you.
We were, yes.
Okay. What did you do as you saw them approach?
I moved to the right
Why did you do that?
to make sure they had enough room to pass me.
Okay, were you in the street with the stroller?
Yes.
Is there a sidewalk?
No.
Why were you in the street?
That road was smoother for the baby stroller.
All right, tell us what happened as you approached these two boys, as you called them.
The big one approached me and demanded me to give him money.
What did you do then?
I told him I didn't have any.
What did he say? Say.
He repeated it. He said, "Give me your money."
How many boys were there?
2.
Can you describe how tall and how short they were?
One was tall and the other one was short.
Do you have any idea what the ages of the boys were?
One looked 15 and the other one looked 5.
Now, which was the one who was doing the talking?
The big one.
He asked you, what did you say, for money?
He demanded me to give him my money.
You have a purse with you?
Yes.
What kind of a purse was it?
A shoulder bag, black canvas.
Okay. And the second time after he asked you for money, what did you do?
I told him that I have a baby and I have expenses and I didn't have it.
What happened next?
He asked me if I wanted him to shoot my baby. And I said, "Please don't shoot my baby."
What did he do?
He shot a warning shot to the ground.
When you say he shot, was he carrying a gun?
He pulled out a gun.
Did you see the gun?
Yes.
You shot it into the ground, you said.
Yes.
What happened next?
Then he pointed it at me and he tried to shoot me in the head. And I ducked.
Did you get hit in the head?
I asked him, "Why are you doing this? Please don't do this." And it felt like he shot me in the ear.
What happened next?
And then he shot me in the leg.
Shot you in the leg. Which leg?
My left leg.
What happened after that?
He walked over and shot my baby.
See him shoot your baby?
Yes. I tried to stop him. I put my arms over my baby, but he still shot him.
Ms. West, I know this is difficult for you, but I'm asking you to describe for us the young man who shot you and shot your baby. What was he wearing?
A red sweatshirt,
What kind of pants?
dark,
What, if any, jewelry was he wearing?
a silver chain.
Describe it in more detail for us.
It was thick, silver.
What color was he?
It was silver.
What color was he?
He was black.
Were there any distinguishing features on his face that stood out to you?
Yes.
Tell the court what those were.
He had full lips and thick eyebrows.
Tell us what the other one who was with him had on.
A black shirt.
Did a good look at his face?
No.
Now, after your baby was shot, what, if anything, did these two men do?
He still tried to grab my purse, and he hit me with the gun in the side of my head.
Even after the baby had been shot?
Yes.
What did they do after that with these two men?
I screamed twice. Someone please call the police. Someone please help. He shot my baby.
Where did the men go?
They ran
Tell us in what direction they ran?
down London Street.
Anything beyond them running down London Street?
No.
Where did you go after the shot that hit you in the leg hit your baby?
I could barely walk, but I held on to the fence. And I tried to wheel my baby into a yard to safety, to perform CPR.
Did you try to do so?
Yes,
For how long?
until the police got there.
Was someone there to try to render aid to you?
A policeman approached me and he identified himself as a policeman, and he took over CPR for me.
Where did the baby go?
They rushed him to the ambulance.
What happened to you?
They helped me out of the yard because I couldn't walk.
And where was the baby transported?
To the hospital.
Tell the court where you were transported.
When we finally found out that I was injured, they transported me to the same hospital.
And tell the court how long you were in the hospital.
It seemed like forever. It was a couple hours.
Was there a bullet in your leg?
Yes.
Was it extracted at that time?
No, they said it was too dangerous to remove the bullet. They did an ultrasound of my leg to make sure the blood vessels, everything was flowing.
Now, where was your baby?
In another room. I kept asking if he was all right, and no one told me anything, not right away.
Did you eventually find out what had happened to your baby?
Yes.
When did you find that out?
It seemed like forever.
You found out.
Yes.
The baby did not survive?
No.
Now, did police officers come and talk to you while you were in the hospital?
Yes.
And did you go to the scene of the shooting with the police officers later that day?
Yes.
And what was the purpose for which you went with the police officers back to the scene of the shooting?
A reenactment.
Reenactment. Tell us what that means. What did they ask you to do?
They asked me to show them what happened.
Did you do so?
Yes. I was assisted by a detective because I had trouble walking.
Ms. West, I want to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 163, a video reenactment that you performed. Have you looked at State's Exhibit 163, the reenactment?
Yes.
You looked at it carefully?
Yes.
All of it?
Yes.
Does it truly and accurately represent the reenactment that you performed on March 21, 2013?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I tender State's Exhibit 163.
I think we've already agreed to introduce that. I think it's already been introduced, in fact.
I do not know, but thank you, Mr. Goff.
Heard it without
Thank you,
objection.
Mr. McIlvaine, may I publish that to the jury?
Okay.
Preparing to play this exhibit, when you were walking down Ellis Street and this incident occurred that you have identified to us, what was the baby doing?
He was asleep. Showing them that I walked down Ellis. Because of my leg. I'm sorry? I have muscle damage and nerve damage in my left leg of the bullet wound.
Right up in here. Right here, because the piece, I remember that porch was right next to the porch, because when he was coming from this direction, he was with some little boy with a black outfit on. Long sweatshirt. It looked like it had a hood, but the hood wasn't up.
I believe it was a police helicopter.
yellow house to your left?
and this blue house to the right. It was like
Okay. Right here? What happened?
so. And then he walked up to me and he approached me. And I said, I don't have any money. And he says, I'm going to shoot your baby. And I said, I don't have any money. And he just struggled with me. He tried to grab my purse. And I said, I don't have any money. And why are you doing this? And don't do this. Don't kill us, you know? And then I looked at the gun and I thought it was a play gun. I thought he was kidding. And then he shot me in the ear, like over here it grazed me. And then he shot me again in my leg. And he says, now I'm going to shoot your baby. And he shot my baby right in the face.
When he shot you in your ear, where was the gun pointed?
At my head.
The gun was pointed. And where was he standing when this happened?
Right here. Right here.
He was standing right there.
And then I went around here trying to protect him.
You came around the shoulder. And so you were right here and you tried to protect the baby and you grabbed your purse. Where was your purse at?
On my shoulder.
Your purse was on your shoulder. What happened after that?
And then he just said, well then I'm gonna shoot your baby. And then he shot my baby right in the face.
And then he shot the baby. And what happened after he shot the baby? Can you show us what you did next?
I screamed. I said, please somebody call the police or call an ambulance to these people here or to these people here. And then he ran. He got mad that I screamed. And so when I screamed, he ran because he was afraid, I guess, people were going to come out. And then I tried really hard to grab the baby and walk back there.
Could you show us what you did when you ran?
I held my baby over here trying to get help, trying to get the police.
When he ran, which way was he going?
That way. He ran that way.
Okay.
He ran that way with the little boy behind him.
He ran with the little boy behind him.
Yep. And then my baby was buckled in, and I tried to get help, like call, and I thought maybe somebody would be home. And so I went, I opened this gate, and I screamed for help. And then a man came from over there, and a woman, and they said, we'll call the police. And then I took my baby out of there, and I just took the arm. The milk was coming out of his mouth. It was sour. I felt his chest, the air going into his lungs, but he didn't have a pulse. I kept trying, though. I kept trying.
And were you able to tell me what you saw after they ran away, when they ran that way?
They were gone in a matter of seconds, minutes, I guess.
And what were they wearing?
The little boy had a black sweatshirt, and the big, tall, skinny boy had a red sweatshirt.
And was there anything about their hair or anything, or face that you remember?
Couldn't see the little boy. He was standing behind the tall boy.
And what about the tall boy? How was his hair?
Curly, very curly.
His hair was very curly.
And he had really thick eyebrows.
Was it short, long?
It was short in the back, I think, and it was just like really thick.
Really thick?
About, I guess, 2 inches high.
Mm-hmm. It was curly.
The last time you saw them, about how far down the road were they?
When I looked to see if the people called the police, they were gone. I couldn't even see them anymore. I don't know whether they turned or kept running straight. I didn't see them when I looked to see it.
Where was the last place you saw them?
on that road, London Street,
They were on London Street.
Mhm.
Were they before the stop sign or after the stop sign?
before the stop sign.
Before the stop sign.
What was the complexion of the tall guy?
Hers. And like thicker eyebrows and really, really curly, thick, tall hair. He couldn't have been more than 15 unless I'm mistaken. He just looked young, but he looked like he was a teenager.
And what about the little boy?
He couldn't have been more than probably 5 or 6.
5 or 6?
I did not see his face. Sorry.
I know this was pretty hard. I really appreciate you helping us because we want to find out who done this. We'll walk you back to the car. You can leave the store.
Now, Ms. West, where did you go after this reenactment?
To the Glenn County Police Department.
How long did you spend at the Glenn County Police Department?
Quite a few hours.
What did they do down there?
They showed me several photographs after they questioned me.
And what happened after that?
I identified the young man who shot my baby.
Went home?
Yes.
Did anyone from the police department come to your house the next day, March 22nd?
I believe so.
I'll show you, may I show this to the witness, John? I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 45, and it's been admitted into evidence. What is State's Exhibit 45? Front page, what is that?
They said it was to identify my baby's killer.
Okay. Now, is this your name, Sherry Lynn West?
Yes.
And your then address, is that correct?
Yes.
And you were shown 6 photographs, is that correct? Are
Yes.
these the 6 that were shown to you?
Yes.
And what were you asked?
Which one was my baby's killer?
And which one did you identify?
Number 4.
Okay, and these initials SW under number 4, whose initials are those?
Mine.
Did you put those initials there?
Yes, I did.
And the front page of this has response number 1. Read it to the jury, please.
The subject block that I have checked below is the subject that committed the offense. I am positive of my identification.
And you were positive of the identification when Exhibit 45 was shown to you at your house the next day?
Yes.
And what number did you check on Exhibit 45?
Number 4.
And what number does that correspond to on the second page of Exhibit number 45?
Number 4.
Number 4. I have not tendered Exhibits 140, 142, 143, and 141. I'd like to do that before I forget at this time. It's the still photos.
No objection.
Thank you, Mr. Proff.
Made it over, made it without objection.
McElvain. Now, Ms. West, did you, when Antonio was born, take a life insurance policy on him?
Yes.
Was that while you were still at the hospital or shortly after you left the hospital?
No, my baby was sick in the hospital.
Ah, approximately when?
A week.
When?
February 7th to February 14th,
Of what year?
2012.
Okay. And where did the idea of getting a life insurance policy come from?
From the hospital.
And as a result of what the hospital said, did you get a life insurance policy on the life of Antonio?
Yes.
Had you ever known anyone before to get a life policy on a baby?
My grandmother used to.
And what was the name of the insurance company that you got the life policy with?
Gerber Life Insurance.
You know if that's the Gerber Life Insurance Company that is also Gerber Foods?
I'm not sure.
Have you ever seen the logo? That is the little picture of the baby.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Is it the Gerber Foods baby?
I believe so.
And so you got this life insurance policy. And what was the total amount of the life insurance policy?
$5,000.
And what is the premium that you had to pay on this life insurance policy?
$3.18 a month.
$3.18 per month, is that correct?
Yes.
Pay this premium every month?
Yes, it was the Gerber Grow Up Plan.
Gerber who?
Gerber Grow Up Plan.
Grow Up Plan, all right. Now, after Antonio died, did you notify the insurance company of his death?
Yes.
And did you ask that they pay you for pursuant to the policy?
Yes.
What did you need the money for?
Funeral expenses.
And did the insurance company pay you?
Yes.
About how much of the total amount of $5,000 was used for Antonio's funeral expenses?
$2,000, I believe.
What happened to the balance of the money?
I had to use it to move.
You moved from Union Street to another location in Brunswick?
Yes.
Did you ever get victim witness assistance from the state?
No.
Offered to you?
Yes.
You declined it.
Yes.
Ms. West, do you see in this courtroom today the person who hit you in the ear and shot you in the leg?
Yes.
Point him out to us.
The boy. The young man in the blue shirt.
Blue shirt and what else?
He has a tie on.
Your Honor, I ask that the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant, Marquise Elkins.
No.
Ms. West, do you see in this courtroom today the man who shot and killed your baby, Antonio Santiago?
Yes.
Point him out to us.
The boy, the young man in the blue.
Your Honor, let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant, Marquise Elkins.
Record so noted.
And finally, Ms. West, did this assault take place and this killing take place in Glenn County, Georgia?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions on direct examination.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be in recess for 10 minutes.
All rise for the jury.
Recess for 10 minutes.